All right, we're recording. So please turn on your video so I can see you. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can keep it off, but I would prefer if you had it on so I know you're there. And just make sure your name is on Zoom is your actual name, just so I can you present. Okay. Oh, didn't need to do that again. Okay, so good morning and welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being flexible and allowing me to do class on Zoom. It's really rainy. I think I've shared with you, I live in Asheville and the roads are pretty bad. They're flash flood warnings. So this is a great solution. So to begin, let's just go over a couple housekeeping. I'm just repeating myself with people got here earlier on time. Next Tuesday will be our last in-person class. I'll send you a recording to watch for Thursday, and you can also use Thursday's class time to do any makeup work. At the end of today, I'm going to post your final assignment, which will be a 1 to 3 page reflective paper on this semester and yoga and what you've learned. I'll give you a little more instruction if you want. On Tuesday, I'll check your journals. So you should have 5 journal entries, and in the chat, you can pull up, you'll see this week, if you weren't here on Thursday, or today's journal prompt is about mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? Right, according to this definition, and we shared about this on Tuesday. So mindfulness means paying attention in the present, in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. And we kind of did that example of mindful eating. You can really do anything mindfully, which means basically practicing yoga. So that is this week's journal prompt. And then next week, 6th week and final week of class is your essay. So I'm going to share my screen just in case you didn't know. In Moodle, here is an assignment. So these are the journal prompts from the whole semester. So the first week we talked about sankalpa, intention. The second week we focused on the first yama, ahimsa. The third week you were to choose a yama to focus on and write about that. We did that in class. 4th week, niyamas. And 5th week, which is this week, is mindfulness. And then the last week, next week, will just be your final cumulative reflective essay. Does anyone have any questions about makeups or your grade? Anything like that? If you've missed more than 3 classes, stay on after and we'll come up with some solutions for you. Okay, so let's start with a meditation. So find yourself in a comfortable position, cross-legged pose. You can shift a little side to side and sit up tall. Sit well. And if it feels more comfortable for you, you can also lie down. And just begin to shift into this space. You can rock a little side to side, maybe shift a little forward and back. And then if you're sitting up, create a nice tall spine. Let your eyes close and drop into the space. And just begin by noticing the sounds inside and around you. Maybe the space you're in right now is loud. Might be some distractions. So just acknowledge whatever's going on in the space you're in. See if you can drop in. Notice any sounds and sensations, emotions inside of you here. How do you feel? What's going on? Maybe you're tired or stressed. So just taking a moment to acknowledge how you feel. And now see if you can use your breath to come into the space. Breathing in and out of the nose. And see if you can let your breath calm your awareness and attention here. So often we get really caught up in our emotions and our thoughts. So right now, all you have to do is focus on the breath. Maybe you place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, or both hands down on your belly and feel your breath moving. Like a wave going out and coming in. So deep breath, expand. Full breath, contract. Breathing in fully. Exhale completely. So today, since we're separate, we can do a little bit more pranayama. So this first breathing exercise is called a cleansing breath. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth. So research has found that the exhale is the calming part of the breath. The inhale is the stimulating, kind of exciting part that we can use if we are feeling bored or tired. And if we're feeling stressed or anxious or some heavy emotions, we want to think about really focusing on the exhale, even lengthening the exhale twice as long as the inhale. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth, really focusing on lengthening the exhale. So together, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. You can even let a noise out, like a big cleansing sigh. Take a deep breath in. Sigh out. Maybe make a noise. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Good. And then let that go and let the breath be even, natural, and deep. Next, we're going to do the square breathing. So this is also called box breathing. So as you inhale, imagine you're drawing the line up a square. Hold the breath, exhale down, and then hold. And you can even visualize and imagine a box or a square in your mind. And if this is too short or too long, you can adjust it. We want the inhale, hold, exhale, and hold, those 4 parts to be the same. So breathe in through your nose, inhale, 2, 3, 4, then hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, hold. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, hold it. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. Good. One more deep breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Good, then let that go. Exhale completely. Good, take a deep breath in. Inhale, 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 and then hold the breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it as long as you can. And then exhale. Empty out completely. Really nice. So just a couple minutes of pranayama, of breath work, hopefully can help you really shift and center. So in some of your journal entries that were submitted, a lot of what I read was that you wanted to take this class to learn how to calm your mind, your thoughts, and our breath is the most portable form of stress management. So it's this almost like secret weapon we have within us to help to calm, regenerate, and land us in center, coming into presence. So hopefully these are some tools you can take with you. All right. So I guess this is everyone who's going to be here today. Before we move into our asana practice, I'd like to share a little bit about the Yoga Sutras, which are an ancient text in yoga philosophy. It's kind of the principal center of yoga philosophy. It was written 5,000 years ago, and we actually don't really know who wrote it. It's accredited to a sage named Patanjali, but we don't necessarily know if that's who wrote it because it was passed down by an oral tradition. Then a lot of people didn't know how to read. So this is one of the assigned books for your class. The text, The Heart of Yoga by T.K.V. Deskachar. And in the middle of this book is a Yoga Sutra translation. So if you have your book, you can get it out and open to page 143. So it says part 3, the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. When you're studying the Yoga Sutra on your own, this is Lulu, this is my dog. She might be coming in from time to time. So the Yoga Sutra can be kind of confusing to study on your own. What it is it's a text with 195 or some say 96 aphorisms. An aphorism is a short phrase with a big universal teaching, a concise saying with a deeper teaching. So you can think about your syllabus for the semester, say, 1 week is focused on yama, and in your syllabus, it'll outline like yama are social guidelines, ethics, and restraints. But that's just one little piece of what the yamas are, and we spend a week really delving into it. So that's similar to the Yoga Sutra. So it's a one-line statement with a deep universal teaching. It's confusing because sometimes the sutras aren't even a complete sentence. So for example, the first sutra, so this is on page 149 of your text, is Atha Yoga Nushasanam, which means now yoga begins, or now union is revealed. So Sanskrit, which is the language this is written in, is a vibrational tonal language, which means the words you're saying embody that meaning. So if you're chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva is a warrior who is credited to like creating and destructing. So when you're saying Shivaya, Om Namah means hail or celebrate, Jai. So when you chant Om Namah Shivaya, that means you're really embodying Shiva, who Shiva is, and that like warrior strength. So Atha Yoga Nushasanam, and I'm actually going to read to you. It's on page 149 if you want to follow along. So the sutras of Patanjali are presented in 4 chapters. The first chapter is called the Samadhipada, the chapter on samadhi. And this chapter defines yoga and its characteristics and discusses the problems encountered in reaching the state of yoga and ways in which these problems can be handled. Each sutra is presented in the original Devakanagarathi script with a translation of the Sanskrit, a translation in italics, and a commentary. So commentary is what it sounds like, kind of discussion. So the Devakanagarathi, if you'll see, is right here. So Sanskrit is actually a really beautiful language. You might think it looks like Arabic. So Atha Yoga Nushasanam. The first sutra introduces the subject matter as the oral tradition requires. In the convention of ancient Sanskrit letter, the first word Atha carries the connotation of a prayer, both for for an auspicious beginning and a successful conclusion to the work that follows. Here begins the authoritative instruction on yoga. So here is yoga. A is the first letter in the alphabet. So Atta, that's intentional. Like now we begin the start of a journey. Patanjali indicates that while, and that's the author that Desikachar says wrote the Yoga Sutra, which most scholars believe is true. So Patanjali indicates that while the subject matter is of ancient origin, and he is not the originator, he has studied it to an appropriate depth under his own teacher and is now competent to share his understanding with his disciples. His style will be in a manner suitable for them to transmit it, to turn directly to their disciples through the traditional oral method. I'm also going to share another little commentary on this sutra that was written by a wonderful yoga teacher. She lives in Charlotte, named Tabitha. So, Tabitha Hall. Now begins yoga. Now is the very first word in the sutras, and its use is intentional. Now is an auspicious moment. It is, in fact, the only moment we have. In every moment, with each thought, word, and action, we are creating the now. Everything we do is choice conscious or subconscious, and each choice contributes to the manifestation of our reality, individually and collectively. Yoga is a practice of coming home to ourselves. And I love that so much. A path of self-realization. To realize means to become aware of that which already exists. Bliss is not some far off or impossible goal to be achieved. It resides within each of us right now. It is our natural and highest state of being. The practice of yoga allows us to uncover it. We burn away all of that we burn away all that we are not, so that our illusions no longer obscure our view of who we really are. So removing the veil of avidya, ignorance. On a fundamental level, only two things exist: resistance or surrender, fear or love, yes or no. To choose yes is to commune with the Atta, which means presence. When we embody yes with our actions, we surrender to the magic of this ever unfolding present moment. In that surrender, we ultimately align with bliss consciousness, embracing the limitless joy of the Atta. So as you can see, those are two interpretations, commentaries on this one short sutra, just to begin. So there's so much, and you can really spend your whole lifetime studying the sutras, but in this kind of introductory course, I think that's just a nice little tidbit. Another thing I personally think are really beautiful about the Yoga Sutras is it was written 3,000 or 5,000 years ago, and it can still apply to our lives today. So Atta, presence, now yoga begins. All we have is this present moment experience. And I think it's almost more applicable now than it was a long time ago, because we are so distracted and bombarded with things all the time, and music and podcasts and movies and relationships and social media and work and dance and school. And, there's a lot of parts to being a human, which I don't have to tell all of you, all of you have lots of roles and relationships and responsibilities. So this sutra, this first very important sutra, says that the most important thing, what yoga is union, its presence right here and now. And then I really want to kind of share a lot about the sutras with you all, which I will maybe on Tuesday, but I'll just share the second sutra today, and then we'll get moving, which is, as some say, the definition of yoga. So yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the quieting of the mind, the stilling of the fluctuations of the thoughts. And here's Desikachar's interpretation. So what is yoga? It is a word with many interpretations and connotations. Patanjali defines his understanding of the word. Yoga is the ability to direct the mind exclusively toward an object and sustain that direction without any distractions. So even for this class, we've been here for 50 minutes already, and maybe some of you are on another device or walking around. I don't know what you're doing. Hopefully you're really paying attention. But yoga is the ability to direct the mind exclusively toward an object and sustain the direction without any distraction. The object can be concrete, one either external to ourselves or part of ourselves. It can be an area of interest, concept, or something beyond the level of the senses, such as God. And I'll share another personal interpretation of this second sutra. So some say this is the most famous and popular sutra. What yoga is. Yoga is a state in which all mental activity has stopped. The mind is clear, quiet, and can perceive correctly. State of samadhi. Samadhi is the 8th limb of yoga, right? Absorption, bliss. Some people say enlightenment. The state of complete integration of union, where we understand our place in relation with the infinite. Foundational to our understanding is yoga. The goal is always towards a quieter mind. So chitta, yoga chitta. Chitta is the mind stuff, consciousness, emotions, samskaras, which are our mental patterns and grooves. The subconscious mind, basin of our whole mind consciousness. So ahamkara is this idea of our soul, our spirit. And if you imagine consciousness, you as consciousness as a lake, a still, flat, quiet lake, and then a bird dives in or someone throws a rock and then the waves on that lake start to ripple. The lake of consciousness gets turned up. The water is not clear, our mind. So the vrittis of the mind, calm them through yoga, recognizing that we are part of the infinite. Turn or wheel, movement of the mind. So vritti is like a wheel. The state of yoga, all the vrittis have calmed. So as a reflection, you can think, is my practice helping me to see more clearly? Is my yoga practice helping me to quiet the mind? Is my yoga practice helping me to suffer less or feel more joy and peace? Is it helping my true self to shine more brightly? So those are some things you can reflect about, and on your final paper, if you'd like to write on any of the Yoga Sutras, I invite you to do that. I'd encourage you if you felt comfortable. So that's a little bit on this ancient text. And now we'll get moving. So we're going to take a 2-minute break. You can go to the bathroom, get your mat set up, and I'll meet you back at 8. Let's do 55 for our asana practice. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, everyone, are we back? Ready to practice? Just so you know, I'm checking to make sure you are still here. So if you want credit, that's a really beautiful picture of you, Kat. So nice. If you want credit, stay here. And also CJ2K, if you can, it's not Colton because I saw him here. If you can message me your name so I can give you, yeah, Colton's here. I don't know, CJ2K, please message me so I know who you are so I can credit you for being in class. Okay, so I know some of you don't have yoga mats, so just do the best you can today with whatever you have around you. And we're going to start lying on our backs. So come on down and lie down. So Shavasana, right corpse pose. Let me see who that is. CJ Thompson. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate it. Glad you're here. Okay. So come down and find a Shavasana shape. So lying flat on your back. Might feel really good. Could be in reclining butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Or soles of the feet on the mat, knees bent, active rest. My teacher Caroline calls this take a load off pose. So take a deep breath in. Big sigh out. Deep breath in. Exhale. And then one more, breathe in. Exhale. And then settle into this space. Preparing yourself for your practice. Start to let your mind get still and quiet here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breath in. Exhale. And again, just pay attention to how you feel today. What is your energy level like? And see if you can carve out this time here on your mat for stillness. For the next hour or so, just really being here, giving yourself this gift of movement, of breath, of rest. And then place your hands on your body, and I invite you to set a personal intention if you'd like here. A word or a phrase, an I am statement. Maybe it's related to this week's kind of theme of mindfulness, of presence, attention. Maybe you have an I am statement like I am focused, I am straight A student, I am doing the best I can, I'm healthy, I'm well, I'm safe. Just getting clear, deep breath in. Exhale. Now from here, stretch your arms up and stretch your legs down. Make yourself nice and long. Stretch up and down, top to bottom. Reach. And then soften that down onto the mat. Relax. Walk your feet to the bottom left-hand corner of the mat and shimmy your shoulders to the upper left-hand corner for banana pose. So your body's making a shape like a ripe banana. You could cross your right foot over your left leg. You could take your left hand and pull your right. But imagine there's space along your right side from your hip, your waist into your shoulder. Deep breath here. Exhale. Breathe in. And out. And then walk yourself center, feet come down, arms stretch up, reach up and down, top to bottom. And then shimmy your feet down to the bottom right-hand corner of the mat. Shimmy your shoulders to the upper right and stretch your side body here. And then again, maybe the right hand pulls your left wrist. You could take your left foot on top of your right. Soften your face, relax here. Breathing deeply. See if you can really feel into the left side body, hip, waist, maybe back of the shoulder. Maybe you're even breathing into your left side lungs. And then slowly unravel, walk yourself center, legs down, arms up, reach. And then arms come down by your side, bend your knees and hug them into your chest. Rock side to side, rock forward and back. And then bend your knees, plant your feet down, lift your hips up. Move your hips over to the right and drop your knees over to the left, spinal twist. Arms stretch out wide, palms up. And then look to the right. And then come back through to center. Bend your knees, plant your feet down. And recenter your spine, centered. Center your center. And then lift your hips up, move your hips to the left. Bend your knees and shift your knees to the right. Arms open to a T. And maybe just this short time of lying down has created more energy. Just paying attention, non-judgment. Palms can face up here, feel stretch in the front of your chest. And then come back to center. Bend your knees, plant your feet down, lift your hips, center yourself again. And then draw your knees in, rock side to side, a little up and down. And then rock a little up and down along your spine, up and down. And then all the way up and over. Cross at your ankles. And find a seated position, comfortable cross-legged pose. Good, so shift a little side to side. Maybe bring your attention into the bowl of the pelvis and notice which sitting bone feels more grounded or even. Good, with your hands on your knees, straighten your arms and shift your spine back, a seated cat round. Good, now lift up on your exhale, shift forward, arch your spine, think cow. Round back, cat. Shift forward, arch your spine, cow. Last time, round your spine back, but now circle to the side, forward, to the side, back, and around. Gently circle here. And then switch directions, forward to the side, back, and around. Good, and then lifting up to center, inhale, shoulders squeeze. Exhale, drop. Inhale, shoulders squeeze up. Drop. One more, inhale, shoulders squeeze. Now exhale, circle your shoulders around, back and down. Up, around, back and down. And again, good, shoulders wiggle at the bottom. Now stretch your arms out by your sides. And inhale, arms float out and up. Exhale, arms float out and down. Inhale. Exhale. So connecting the breath and the movement. One more. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Maybe the left hand comes outside your right knee. Breathe it in, lift. Exhale and twist. Try to look back behind you. Good, and then turn to face forward. Lower your right hand down. Stretch your left arm up and over. So I'm probably doing the opposite side as you. You can do whatever side as long as you do both. Reach and lengthen. Good, now lift back up. Hands on your knees, round the back. Lift up and arch, shift forward. And then back up to center, uncross and recross your shins. Sitting nice and tall, arms out by your sides. Inhale, float your arms out and up. Exhale, out and down. Inhale, arms float. Exhale, twist left. Good, breathe in and sit tall. Exhale and twist back. Maybe your right hand is kind of pushing your left knee. Good, unravel, facing forward, left hand down, right arm stretches, up and over. Again, maybe that top shoulder draws back, really reach through your spine. Good, all the way back up to center. Uncross your legs, bend your knees, point your feet, hands behind you, lift up into a reverse table. Then lower back down and swing your legs around behind you to press back into child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide, hips to heels, arms stretch forward in front of you. I know maybe your forehead touches here. Hopefully this feels really nice. And at any time in the practice, if you need to rest, lie down, you can come back to child's pose, lie on your back in Shavasana. So do what feels right for your body, listening and understanding. Now lift your gaze and tense onto your fingertips. Walk your upper body over to the right. Stretching your left side, maybe you bend your right arm and place your hand by your knee. You can also drag and pull your left hand. Lift your gaze, tense onto fingertips, walk your way center, and then over to the left. Stretching through your right side, maybe you pull with your right hand, bend your left arm, press with your left. Good, lift your gaze up on fingertips and through to center, child's pose. Good, now rise up into a tabletop position, come to all fours. Spread your fingers nice and wide, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, cow, tilt your hips up, belly drop, shoulders shrug down. Exhale, point your toes and round your spine into cat, chin to chest. Inhaling, cow, toes tuck, belly drop, shoulders squeeze, look up. Exhale and round, point your toes, chin in. One more, inhaling, cow, shoulders shrug, hips lift, gaze up. Exhale, point your toes and round, round, round for cat. Good, come back to neutral and then just move your hips from side to side. Hips drop over to the left, maybe you gaze right, hips go right, gaze left. So just side to side, create some space up in the side body, down to your hips, through your waist. Good, slow that down, back to center. Start to move your spine up and down, side to side. So you can bend and straighten your arms as your chest lowers, shoulders press up. Good, go the other direction, up and down, side to side. Big or small movements here. Good, and then slow it down back to tabletop position. Bring your knees together at the back of the mat and then stretch your right leg behind you. Tuck your toes and drive back through your heel. And maybe shift a little forward and back. Good, now lift your right leg up to about hip height. See if you can hold and balance there. Bring your leg out a little and draw it into center. So a little out and in, one more. Good, now bend your leg. So flex your foot, stack your ankle over your knee, and then see if you can just press up a little here. Press and press, like you're trying to press your footprint on the ceiling. A little hip strength, good. 3, 2, and 1. Now stretch your right leg long, curl your knee to chest. Send it back. So round and squeeze like cat. Right leg stretches back one more time, curl it in, stretch it back. Now put your right foot down at the back of the mat, spin your left
foot behind your left knee and reach your right arm up for a side plank variation. Good. Roll out your right wrist here. Circle. Maybe even circle your whole right arm. One direction and the other. Good. Now bring your right hand onto your hip. Flex your right foot. See if you can lift your leg up hip height and lower it to tap the mat. Little hip strength. For 3, 2, and 1. Now put your right foot down and lift up into gate pose. Arms spread out wide, shoulders down. Roll out your wrists and circle. Good. Now bring your right hand down your right leg. Left arm stretches up and over. Little side bend. Come back up, arms to a T. Lower your hands down, face the top of the mat. Tabletop position. Move your hips. Maybe cat-cow your spine a little. Nice slow warm up. Good. Now knees together at the back. Kick your left leg back behind you. Tuck your toes. Drive out through your left heel. Good. Now just kind of hold that stretch and shift a little forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Left leg lifts. Hold it up. Good. Now bend your knee. Flex your foot. Think ankle on top of the knee and press up here. Imagine you're stomping your footprint on the ceiling. Press. Press. For 3, 2, 1. Stretch your left leg back. Now curl your knee to nose. Stretch it long and back. Think cow spine. Then inhale, knee to chest, cat. Exhale, stretch it back. Cow. One more time. Curl in. Stretch back. Now step your right foot behind your right knee. Right hand down. Left leg to the back of the mat. Side plank. Supported side plank. Reach through your left arm and roll out your wrist. Circle. And maybe make some big circles with your arm. Good. Both directions. Good. Now left hand on your hip. Flex your foot, lift your leg up to hip height and tap. Lift and lower. Good. Then put your left foot down and rise up into gate pose. Shoulders over your hips, arms stretch out wide. Maybe feel a stretch in your chest. You can roll out your wrists here, flip your fingers. And then tilt down. Side bend. Good. Rise up. Hands to the mat, table pose. Rock your hips side to side. Good. Now from here, walk your knees back. Bring your hands wide in front of you. Modified planks. You can tuck your toes in plank or have your knees down. Look forward. Yogi push-up. Chaturanga elbows squeeze as you come down. Straighten your arms. 2 more. Yogi push-up. Lower. Lift 1 more. Good. Come all the way to your belly. Stretch your legs back. Now stretch your arms back. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Arms, legs, and chest. Lengthen, 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 reach here. And then come down. Hands by your sides in cobra pose. Point your toes. Lift your chest. Lift your hands. Squeeze and reach. And then lower. Now press into your hands, point your toes. And lift your chest. A little higher in your cobra. You could also come to up dog where the thighs are lifted. Good. Tabletop position. Now circle your hips back to the right and left. Forward, left, right. Dancing lion. Nice big movements, waking up your shoulders and hips. Good. Switch directions. Circle the other way. Good. Back to table. Now spread your fingers wide, press into your palms, and tuck your toes into downward facing dog. Good. So feet hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. Take some time here to move your dog, pedal out your feet. Right heel lowers, left knee bends. Left heel lowers, right knee bends. Shift a little side to side. And now walk your hands back to your feet. Come to the back of the mat in a forward fold. Let your upper body hang here. You can grab opposite elbows, sway. Release your arms and bend your knees as you rise up to stand. Take your time. Coming all the way up at the top, shoulders, squeeze up, back and down. Up, back and down, and one more. Very nice. Give your shoulders a little shimmy, drop, maybe shake out your hands and wrist a little, and give your whole body a little shake, shake, shake. Good, so feet hip distance apart, right underneath you. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Press your palms together and reach your arms up. Good, now side bend up and over to the right. Your right hand can grab your left wrist or interlace your palms. Good, come up to center, little bend of your knees, stretch up and over to the left side bend. Good, come back to center, bring your arms to goalpost position and take a back bend, chest forward, hips draw forward. Good, then rise up to center, arms lift, hands come down, fold in, head lowers. Now inhale to a half lift, look forward like flat back. Good, and exhale, plant your hands down and walk yourself out to plank pose. Breathe in, exhale, hold. You can also have your knees down, deep breath here. Now exhale, chaturanga, yogi push-up, lower. Good, inhale to cobra or upward dog. And exhale, press back to tabletop, child's pose, or downward dog. And if you're in downward dog, you can move your feet, pedal your heels, your hips, shake it out. Good, one more big breath here. Now lift your toes, bend your knees, look forward, walk, hop, or float your feet to the top of the space. Look up and lengthen, and then fold. Stretch your arms as you rise back up to stand. And hands come to your heart, mountain pose. Breathe in and out. Good. Now balance on your left leg, bring your right knee into your chest. Maybe you interlace your hands below your knee. Roll out your ankle here a little. Good. And then see if you can just extend your leg out, maybe arms to the side, and just find your balance. Maybe even challenge yourself, stretch your leg up, arms out. Good, and then bring your right foot down, arms relaxed, circle your hips a little bit. Circle your hips. Good, maybe you roll your shoulders back and down. Shake it out and then switch sides. Balancing on the right leg, bring your left knee up. You can interlace your hands and really hug your knee in. Maybe you circle your left ankle. And also just hover your knee in line with your hip. Maybe arms stretch out. Maybe you stretch your leg up. Good, bring it back down. Mountain pose, circle your hips. And circle. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Good, now again, balance on your left leg. Bring your right knee into tree pose. So sole of foot comes inside the thigh. Also place it on your calf or do heel to ankle. And if balance is tricky, which is for a lot of people, you can come near a wall and maybe touch your hand to the wall to help you balance. Now really feel your leg pressing into your foot, foot into your leg. Find your center here. Maybe arms stretch up in your tree, maybe out. And then hands come back down. Leg stretches forward, maybe lift. And then back to mountain pose, arms by your sides. Breathe in. Big exhale. Breathe out. Okay, other side. So balance on your right leg. Bring your left foot into tree. So sole of foot in the inner thigh or on your calf or heel to ankle. Just try not to go right on the knee joints, above or below the knee, hands to the heart. Maybe arms stretch up. Maybe arms stretch out. Roll out your wrists, maybe gaze up. Hands come together, bring your left leg forward, stretch it up, and then bring it down. Feet together, arms by your side, mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we'll do a couple more standing poses and then come on down to the mat. So at the top of the mat, step your right leg back into warrior one. So spin your right heel down and then reach your arms up. Shoulders soften down. Hips forward, ribs forward, lift. And then take 2 deep breaths here. One more. Good, now straighten your front leg, turn to the side of the mat, arms open out wide, and then bend into your front knee for warrior two. Stretch your arms out wide, forward and back, really reach and extend, sit low, maybe gaze forward. Good, take it back and reverse your warrior. Right hand down, left arm up and over. Good, back up and forward. Left forearm to thigh, right arm up and over, extended side angle. Maybe even sweep your arm up and around. Rise back to warrior two. And then straighten your front leg and your arms by your side. Heel toe your back foot in. Triangle pose, you can keep your hands on your hips. We're going to stretch your arms out and up. Inhale, and then exhale to lower. Left hand on your ankle, shin, maybe the floor. Think length through your waist, through your sides. Maybe gaze is up. And then rise back up, reverse triangle. Lift, and then step to the top of the mat in mountain pose. So hands can be in prayer in front of your heart or relaxed by your sides. Breathe in. Exhale. Good, now step your left leg back. Spin your back heel down. Arms reach up for warrior one. So think of that back foot, the inner arch lifting. Squaring hips and shoulders forward. Arms lift up. Some people even make this a back bend. It's whatever feels right for you. Good, now straighten the legs, turn to the side of the mat, and then re-bend for warrior two. So I'm going to switch around. So right knee bends, arms stretch out wide. Try to sit nice and low. Maybe the arms even lift up a little higher, hands over your shoulders. Good, now inhale, reach your right arm forward. Exhale and reverse. One more breath. Good, rise up, warrior two. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle, shift forward. Right forearm to thigh, left arm up, maybe circle it back, down, forward and around, really reach. Good, rise back up. Straighten your front leg. You can relax your arms down or bring your hands to your hips. Heel toe your back foot in, shorten your stance. Again, stretch your arms out. Inhale. And exhale forward into triangle pose. Right hand on your thigh, knee, shin, ankle. Good, reach up. Think of length through your side. One more. Very nice. Rise back up and reverse your triangle. Good, lift. And then step to the top of the mat, feet together in mountain pose. Good, from here, walk your feet wide. Bend your knees and come down into a squat. Yogi squat, Mahalasana. So you can think heels in, toes out, knees bend, maybe hands at your heart. Good, and then maybe some of you want to come forward into crow pose, hands down, knees to your triceps. You can shift forward and play. One foot up off the mat. Maybe both, maybe heels lift, really shift forward, forward, forward. Good, and then plant your hands down and step back to downward dog. Breathe in and out. Now inhale, shift forward to plank. With your knees downward, right from plank, lower chaturanga. Good, all the way down to your belly. Bring your forearms down and rest your forehead on your forearms, so neck is long. And then here, really breathe into your belly, into the low belly. See if you can feel the belly expand as you inhale, press the floor away. Contract as you exhale and draw in. Good, now stretch your arms forward and your legs back. Exhale. Inhale, lift your right arm and left leg. Bring it down, left arm, right leg. Lower, lift, lift. For 3. Good, strengthening the back. 2. 1 more each side. Good, now see if you can lift everything up. Arms, legs, chest, maybe add a little swim. Maybe bend your arms, pull forward and back. And lower down. Good, hands by your side. Look forward and lift up, cobra. Good, press back to child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, forehead to the mat. Good, now lift your gaze and come on to your fingertips. Draw forward into tabletop position once again. Good, now you can be in downward dog from here or stay in your table, reach your right leg back. Now step your right foot forward. Bend your front knee, shift back, low lunge. Now straighten your front leg and shift back for a half split. Hopefully this feels really good for some of you, especially those that are tighter. Turn your toes open, point your right toes in to feel stretch along the front of the leg. Maybe moving that, stretching your foot. Good, maybe point your toes and flex. Maybe some of you come into a full split here. Kishan, Kesha, those really flexible yogis. If you want, or stay in this half split, should feel really good. Good, now if you want all the way, come back halfway and re-bend into your front knee. Hands come down, walk your right foot to the right side of the mat for a low lizard lunge. You could also tuck your back toes and lift your back knee here. Maybe arms are down, elbows or forearms. You could even add a little twist. Press your right hand inside your right thigh, reach back and grab your heel. Good, now hands come down, heel toe your right foot to the left side of the mat for pigeon pose. Bring your right foot in front of your left hip. Walk your hands in and lift your chest. Good. And then from here, come down to your elbows or forearms, enjoying this stretch. Now, if this doesn't work for your body, you can also come onto your back in pigeon and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Grab behind your thigh or maybe the front of the shin. So figure 4. So it's kind of popular in yoga for people to say things like our trauma is held in our hips, or like hip openers are really good to release your trauma. And I get that. The thing is, our body keeps the score. That's actually the name of a really great book on trauma. And our issues are in our tissue. So if we're holding painful experiences, it's not just going to be in our hips. It'll probably be in a lot of different places, our shoulders, our jaw. And yeah, yoga is really looking at our bodies in a lot of different ways, our wellness in a lot of aspects. So any movement is really therapeutic and really good to heal and shift and move energy. And our breath, again, is a really powerful way to transform, to shift, to heal. So take a final deep breath here in your pigeon pose. Good, now walk your hands in and lift your chest up. Roll the outside edge of your right hip and swing your left leg around in front of you for head to knee pose. So the sole of the right foot will come inside the left leg. You can shift side to side, lift up, and then fold, reaching down over your left leg. Maybe your fingers can grab the toes. the past year and a half since we've been in this pandemic and had COVID, a lot of people say that we are having a collective moment of trauma. But there's a difference between trauma and PTSD. So two people could be in a car accident and it'd be very serious and cars totaled, people injured, going to the hospital. And that's a traumatic experience, but maybe one person kind of moves on, lets that go, can get into a car again, no big deal. And the other person has some adverse reaction to that. Like every time they drive by that street, the accident happens, they tense up, or they don't want to get in a car, or they have nightmares or anxiety, or start self-medicating with drugs or alcohol. So that is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So after a traumatic event, having issues. So a lot of people, not a lot, I don't know what's a lot or a little, but many people in COVID had a positive experience. I mean, I guess probably like really privileged people, right? So not everyone has trauma, has PTSD, but we have had this collective moment. Slowly rise back up, bend your right knee, plant your foot down, wrap your arm around your leg. Good, and then twist to the right, take a spinal twist. You can bring your left elbow outside your right knee, and your right hand behind you. Good, then come center, counter twist, hands to the left, bow your chest down. Good, now bring both feet down. Bend your knees, plant your feet, hands behind you, and lift up for a reverse table. So counter pose. Come back down. Swing your legs around behind you and come back to tabletop position. Then you can rock side to side, maybe roll your spine up and down. Let a sign breath out through the mouth. Inhale. Sigh out. Good. And then just notice the difference between sides here. We'll go into the left side. So stretch your left leg up. And then step your left foot forward between your hands. Bend your front knee and shift forward. Low lunge. You can walk your hands on top of your front thigh. Good. Now straighten your front leg and shift your hips back to a half split. Left heel dragging towards your right knee, chest to your thigh. You turn your toes out and in, and flex. And again, maybe some of you slide to full split on this side. It really is interesting to point your toes down and feel the stretch move up the top of the foot. Flex your toes, point your toes in and out. But if you're in full split, drag it back to that half split. And now shift forward, bend your front knee, and walk your left foot to the left side of the mat and your hands down. Good, so low lizard lunge option. You could come to your elbows or your forearms here. You could press your left hand inside your left thigh. Maybe take your left hand, reach back for your right foot, heel toward your seat. Left shoulder, left knee. Light explore. So often, you probably heard me say this before, if we have any hip issues or back issues, sometimes it's coming from our hips. So open, flexible hips, open, flexible, strong spine. Good, final breath here. Now straighten your arms and heel toe your left foot to the right side of the mat for a pigeon. Left foot in front of your right hip. Tuck your right toes, reach your right leg back, hands walk in. Good, come down. Elbows or forearms, maybe your head drops. Maybe all the way to your belly. So finding a stretch here in your psoas muscle. So the psoas muscle goes along the front of your hip, wraps up and around, connects the spine and circles underneath your leg through your groin. And often our psoas gets really tight in the front. So This is a really great way to open your psoas and also your hip flexors. Again, if this doesn't work, you can spin around to your back, left ankle over right thigh, hands behind your leg. Shoulders on the mat, head down, soften. Ooh. And see if you can bring all of your attention and energy here on the mat in the body. Just like that first sutra, Atha Yoga Nushasana. Now yoga begins, the present moment. Take one more deep breath here. Now walk your hands in and lift your chest up. Roll to your left hip and swing your right leg around in front of you. So the sole of the left foot comes inside the right leg, shift side to side, lift nice and tall, inhale. And then exhale, fold, reaching down over your leg. Maybe hands are reaching towards your right foot. Good, breathing here. Maybe nose reaches toward your knee, fingers toward the toes. Notice where you're feeling the stretch here in your back and your hips. And then again, slowly roll up to seated, shoulders squeeze, up, back and down, shake it out. Bring the left foot down, bend your knee, wrap your right arm around your leg, left hand behind you. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and twist, maybe look back. Good, turn to center and then counter to the right, hands down, chest bounce. And then lift up, stretch both legs out in front of you, shake it out, shake it out. Then bend your knees, point your feet, lift to reverse table, and back down. Scoot to the top of the mat, bend your knees, reach your arms forward and take a slow roll down onto your back. You can go fast or slow. I would suggest a slow roll all the way down to your back. The problem with doing yoga at home is you realize how dirty your house is. Anyone else? All right, all the way onto your back, knees in, rock side to side. Now stretch your arms and legs up and give everything a little bit of a shake, 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 wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it. Good, then bend your knees and reach up for your feet, happy baby, or maybe behind your thighs. Rock side to side here. Let me stretch one leg out, the other, back and forth. Good, hold everything up there, reach, and then lower all the way down onto your back for final relaxation pose, Shavasana. So since you are home, I would recommend grabbing a blanket to cover you. Maybe if you have an eye pillow or a piece of cloth put over your eyes. So just getting yourself really comfortable for your relaxation pose. And I'll guide you through our Yoga Nidra script. So guided relaxation. So get really comfortable. You could even turn off the lights wherever you are. Let me get kind of quiet and still. Good. So any last kind of fidgets or wiggles, release. And now I'll take a deep breath in through the nose, cleansing sigh out. There's nothing for you to do now, but listen to the sound of my voice and allow yourself to relax.
So this practice of Yoga Nidra is a practice of yogic sleep that will guide you to a hypnagogic state, a state of consciousness between wakefulness and sleeping. So try to remain awake by listening to the sounds of my voice. You'll be asked to move your awareness to various body sensations. Try not to concentrate too intensely, as they may prevent you from relaxing. During this meditation, please use and absorb what you need in the moment and leave the rest behind. If the mind becomes overactive with thoughts and worries, just come back to the sound of my voice. Become aware of any sounds you can hear in this moment. Nothing else but what you can hear without strain. Begin to focus on the most distant sounds that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing radiate outward. Searching out these distant sounds and following them for a few moments. Move your attention from sound to sound without labeling the source. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds, to sounds maybe right outside the building you're in, to sounds inside the building, and sounds inside the room. Visualize your body lying here. The position of your body, your hair, your clothes, your face. Become acutely aware of your physical existence. And now become aware of your natural breath that moves in and out without any effort. Natural breath that's flowing through both nostrils. Notice the feeling of the breath as it comes in and out of the nose. There's a sense of coolness as you inhale the breath. Follow this feeling into your nose, to the back of the throat, into your lungs. There is a sense of warmth as you exhale the breath. Now take a moment to set your intention, your sankalpa, your resolve. A short statement in the positive present tense, clear. And then say to yourself, I am practicing Yoga Nidra. I'm awake and relaxed. I'm awake and relaxed. Now bring your attention to the right hand. Feel your thumb. First finger. Second finger. Third finger. Fourth finger and pinky. Palm of the right hand. Back of the hand. Wrist. Forearm. Elbow. Upper arm. Shoulder. Armpit. The waist on your right side. Hip, right thigh, right knee, right calf, and ankle. The heel and sole of the foot. Feel the top of the right foot and the right big toe. Second toe, third toe. Fourth toe, fifth toe. The whole right side is relaxed. Now go to the back of the body, the right heel, and then left heel. right calf, left calf, right thigh, left thigh, right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, entire spine, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the head, top of the head. Now feel into the left hand, the left thumb, first finger, middle finger, fourth finger, and pinky. Left palm of the hand, left back of the hand, left wrist, left forearm, left elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, left armpit, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf, and ankle, left heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky. Top of the head, forehead softening, right temple, left temple, right ear, left ear, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, middle of the eyebrows, center of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, right cheek, left cheek, upper lip, lower lip, both lips together, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, and groin, pelvic floor, each hip, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, whole right arm, whole left arm, the whole face, the whole head, the whole torso, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Relax. Slowly start to come back. Feel and notice sensations here. It's time to repeat your sankalpa, your statement, your word, your intention. Say it to yourself 3 times here. Now come back to the feeling of your breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. Maintain your awareness of breath. And at the same time, develop your awareness of your physical body. Your body is relaxed, lying here on the floor. Mind is quiet, focused. Now slowly start to bring some movement back in as you wiggle the fingers and toes. Roll out your ankles and wrists, turn your head. And then slowly stretch your arms up and your feet down. Lengthen your body from the top to the bottom. Stretch. And then bend your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And rock gently from side to side. Forward and back. And as you're ready, rock your way up into a seated position. Rising up, ending in the way we began. So sitting tall, and you can bring your hands to your heart here, palms touch. To close today, I'll share with you something I like to call the yogi prayer, and it goes like this. May I stay grounded in my center. May I stay grounded in presence. May I have eyes that see clearly, just seeing the moment that I am in, to know what I'm seeing in front of me is through my own lens. May I trust myself to know, have eyes to see, heart to feel, lips to speak the truth. May I listen very intentionally to that inner knowing. May I always listen and trust my intuition. May what I do serve the greater good and lift up anyone who is oppressed, unheard, suffering, or in pain. May I be an example of healing and love. Hands together, just closing your class here today. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice yoga Satnam. All right. Thank you, everyone. Great job.